Hello everyone, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching Polity This Week by Drishti IAS. In this episode, we will be discussing some of the important political development which has happened in the last week and that can be important for our examination. So let's talk about them. Herein, we'll be talking about 4 important topics today. Starting with the national anthem controversy. Recently in Tamil Nadu, the governor has not given the open, or when we are talking about the opening address to the state assembly, he has actually attended it, but he left without giving the address. And reason was cited that the national anthem was not being played over there. Basically, when we are talking about the protocols, there are certain protocols. So considering that, he has actually left the assembly without giving the address. So herein we will be talking about the national anthem, and we'll be looking at some of the protocol that in various states, what are the protocol, we'll be seeing that. Then coming to the next topic, that is your Lokpal in India. Now when we are talking about the Lokpal, they have actually, when we are talking about the date, that is 16th of January 2014, you can say that was the day when Lokpal was enforced, or the statute with respect to the Lokpal that was actually enforced. And considering that, you know that 16th January was in the week, so we'll be talking about the Lokpal, and we'll be seeing that what are the process related to the appointment, etc., what is the jurisdiction, what are the powers, etc., etc. Then NITI Aayog, so you can say that 10 years of NITI Aayog has been celebrated, or you can say the completed, so we will be talking about that. And then coming to the next one, that is same-sex marriage. Recently there was this petition which has been filed in the Supreme Court to review the older judgment of the Supreme Court with respect to the same-sex marriages. So Supreme Court has dismissed the petition, so we will be talking about the current legal status of same-sex marriage in India. Okay, so let's start our discussion. Before that, I would like to tell you that so we are offering ISGS Foundation course for Hindi as well as English medium. Admissions are open at our Noida Sector 15 center. Address is given over here. You can directly visit the center and get yourself enrolled, or you can call on this number which is given on the screen, that is 87501 87501. Okay, now let's start our discussion. First, we will be talking about the national anthem controversy. I told you that what is the context. Now we will be coming to the you can say discussion directly. Now when we talk about the national anthem and the national song, there are, you know, we have Jana Gana Mana as a national anthem and the Vande Mataram as national song. So we'll be talking about some of the facts related to that. Here, the song Jan Gan Man, national anthem, composed originally in Bangla by Rabindranath Tagore in 1911. So basically it was originally composed in Bangla, but later on it was translated and then it was you know, made our national anthem. Okay, it was adopted in its Hindi version as the national anthem of India. It was first sung on the 27th December 1911 at the Calcutta session of Indian National Congress. Okay, so that is important date which you can remember. Now coming to the national song over here. National song of India is Vande Mataram. It was written by B.C. Chatterjee or Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. The song was first written in 1870. First it was written in 1870, but later on it was added to his novel in 1882. The name of the novel was Anand Mat or Anand Mat. Okay, you must have heard about a Sannyasi revolt. In that Sannyasi revolt related book, or when we are talking about this Anand Mat, it is giving a description of the Sannyasi revolt. In that particular book, he has mentioned this song, that is Vande Mataram. Okay, and when we are talking about the first time it was sung, so it was 1896 INC session. Okay, now it is a patriotic hymn that represents reverence for the Mother India and was a source of inspiration during the India's struggle for freedom. Okay, now when we are talking about both of them has been adopted as national anthem and the national song on 24th January 1950 by the Constituent Assembly. So these are some of the facts which you must remember for your examination. Now coming to the protocol related part over here. Protocols and the convention for playing the national anthem. Now presidential address in parliament. When we are talking about the presidential address in parliament, so when president enters into the parliament, then it will be played. National anthem is played as the president reaches the dais. The president then delivers the address, and then the national anthem is played again as the president exits the house. Okay, so when he is entering and when he is exiting, in both of the time the national anthem will be played. Okay, then coming to the next one, what about the governor in the state assembly? So various states are having, when we are talking about India, there are, you know, states, and these states are having different protocols over here. Okay, so here you can see governor's address in the state assembly, varied practices across states. When we are talking about the various different states, there are different practices which is there. Now when we talk about Nagaland, it was introduced that the national anthem will be played in the assembly only in 2021. So since 2021 it is being played. Before that there was no such protocol. Okay, coming to Tripura, it was first time introduced in 2018. And then Tamil Nadu, when we are talking about the current case over here, what happens over here is that the state anthem is played before the governor's address. Okay, state anthem will be played before the governor's address, and after that, when governor is leaving, then national anthem will be played. Okay, so that is the convention as of now in Tamil Nadu. So we can say that various state has different kind of protocols with respect to the playing national anthem. Okay, now coming to the next part over here, that what are the safeguards which has been given in the constitution or otherwise in any kind of statute. Okay, so constitutional provision, we have a fundamental duty to respect the national anthem and the flag, that is given under article 51A subclause A. Okay, then second thing is the prevention of insults to the National Honor Act 1971. So under this particular, you can say, act, there is a punishment, imprisonment up to 3 years, fine, or both for disrespecting the national anthem. Then when we are talking about the conviction, if a person is convicted under this particular law, he will be disqualified, or you can say he cannot contest election for the next 6 years. Okay, so that is the provision or the punishment related provisions which are there in the Indian statutes with respect to our national anthem. Okay, so we have talked about the important facts with respect to the national anthem and the song. Then we have talked about some of the protocols, and then the constitutional or the legal safeguard which has been provided, that you have to respect the national anthem and the flag. Okay, so that is about it. Now we can move further to the next topic, that is Lokpal. Now when we are talking about the Lokpal or the Lok Ayog, these are the institutions which has been made by statute. Okay, so that is why these are statutory bodies. Statutory bodies, because when we are talking about their existence, that they have been you can say came into existence because of a law or a statute. Okay, the provision is not given in the constitution, that is why these are not constitutional bodies, these are statutory bodies. Okay, now when we are talking about the term ombudsman, which is generally used for the Lokpal, it is the English term which is used. So here you can say it is a statutory body functioning as ombudsman to investigate corruption allegation against specific public officers. Now when we are talking about the specific public officials, so there is a jurisdiction which has been decided, so we will be talking about that in the further slide. Okay, so under that some of the officials has been covered. Okay, then coming to the next part over here, the Lokpal and the Lok Ayog Act 2013, which empowers the anti-corruption body to investigate all allegation of corruption, came into effect on 16th of January 2014, and that is why you can say that nearly 10 years has been completed over here. Then the first Lokpal day will be celebrated on 16th January 2015 in Delhi, Kent, and that is why it becomes important that it is the first time they will be celebrating the first Lokpal day. Okay, now coming to the important factors which are related to the Lokpal. Now when we are talking about the historical background, the term ombudsman, which was first you can say created, or the institution of ombudsman has been created first in Sweden in 1809. Okay, way back in you can say 19th century, early 19th century, they have created the institution of ombudsman. Then when we are talking about India, in 1963 the idea has been propagated in the parliament. Idea to have a Lokpal, idea to have a ombudsman first came up in the parliament, and then in 1971 first Lok Ayog established in Maharashtra. Now this is the state level change which has happened. So for the first time the first Lok Ayog was established in Maharashtra. Then in 2011 there was this Anna Hazare movement which has advocated the you can say importance of the Lokpal. Okay, after that in 2013, after the you can say this Andolan, they have come up with the Lokpal and Lok Ayog Bill 2011. Now that bill has been passed as Lokpal and the Lok Ayog Act 2013. Okay, and then it was implemented back in 2014. Okay, and in 2019 Justice PC Ghosh or Pinaki Chandra Ghosh was appointed as the first Lokpal of India. Okay, so you can see that in 2014 they have started the implementation, and in 2019 they have appointed the first Lokpal, that is PC Ghosh. Okay, now when we are talking about the statute, it is given over here, Lokpal and the Lok Ayog Act 2013 seeks to establish an institution of Lokpal as center and Lok Ayog at state. Okay, when we are talking about the first Lok Ayog, that was established in Maharashtra in 1971. Okay, now coming to the next part over here, herein we will be talking about the jurisdiction, that who all are under the scrutiny when we are talking about the corruption related case, and that is coming to the Lokpal. So here you can say it includes Prime Minister, Ministers, MPs, Member of Parliament, Group A, B, C, D officers and officials of the central government. Now they are talking about the Lokpal over here. Okay, Now when we are talking about the Lokpal, so MPs, ministers, prime minister and the group ABCD and the central government officers, they will be under the Lokpal. Then when we are talking about the MLAs etc. or the state government officials, they will be under the Lok Ayukt. Okay. Then institutions financed fully or partly by the government, these will also be under the jurisdiction of Lokpal. Then entities getting over 10 lakh rupees as a donation from the foreign bodies or the, you can say, foreign donations, that is under the FCRA, that is Foreign Contribution Regulation Authority. Okay, so or the act when we are talking about, so FCRA act is there, under which if you are getting donation which is more than 10 lakh rupees, so such bodies will also come under the jurisdiction of the Lokpal. Then when we are talking about the powers, so here we will be talking about the authority to approve the public servants prosecution instead of the government or relevant authority. So if there is a prosecution of a public servant, then that has to be approved by the Lokpal over here. Power of superintendence and the direction over the investigation agency including CBI for the case referred by them to Lokpal. So if there is a case which has been you can say referred to CBI by Lokpal or any other investigating agency by Lokpal, so the Lokpal will have a power to monitor that thing as well. Incorporates provisions for the attachment and the confiscation of the property of the public servant acquired by the corrupt means. If let's say there is a person A or you can say Mr. A which is under the government job and he is having a central government job and he has taken some kind of money, okay, he has taken some kind of money as bribe, and with that particular money he has buy or purchased a house. Okay, such property can be confiscated by the Lokpal over here, and that property, it is not necessary that you should be convicted of that. If there is a prosecution going on or if there is a trial going on, in that during the process of the trial they can confiscate the property. Okay, so that is the provision which are there, and these are the power of the Lokpal. Now appointment, if we are talking about, so there is a selection committee and there is a search committee. When we are talking about the search committee, that means that they will be going for searching or finding the names of the people who are potential candidate. Okay, then they will be giving the name to the selection committee. Okay, they will be giving the name to the selection committee, and selection committee will be having these members, that is prime minister, speaker of the Lok Sabha, leader of the largest opposition party, Chief Justice of India or any sitting judge which is nominated by the Chief Justice of India, and eminent jurist, okay, which is nominated by the president. Okay, so these are the people which will be there. Again, I'm telling you, prime minister, speaker of Lok Sabha, leader of the largest opposition party, Chief Justice of India or a sitting judge which is nominated by the Chief Justice of India, and an eminent jurist which is nominated by the president. Okay, now this search committee will be giving name to this particular selection committee, and selection committee will be going for the appointment of the chairperson as well as the member of the, you can say, Lokpal. Search committee assists in the selection committee. Now when we are talking about the structure, here you can say that there can be a chairperson and then maximum 8 members should be there. Okay, maximum 8 members. Now when we are talking about the number of members over here, 50% should be from the judicial you can say expertise, so there will be 50% judicial members, and then 50% of the you can say board should have SC, STs, OBCs, minorities and the women. Okay, so that is there. So basically what we are saying is that out of these 4, there can be 4 judicial members, and the other 50% you can say that can be from the SC, ST, OBC, women, etc. Now it is not necessary that these 4 should be different and these 4 should be different. Okay, overall it should be the constitution constituent of the, you can say, structure of the committee or the Lokpal, that is that out of these 8 members, 50% are your judicial members and 50% are basically from these sections, that is scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, minorities and the women. Okay, now when we are talking about the term of the office, that is 5 years and up to age of 70 years. So this is about Lokpal we have talked about. Okay, now we can move to the next part, that is NITI Aayog. Recently I told you that NITI Aayog is basically completing 10 years now, so we'll be talking about that. And herein when we talk about NITI Aayog, that full form is National Institution for Transforming India. Okay, National Institution for Transforming India. Now it is a think tank. It is a think tank. Earlier when we talk about the planning commission, you know that when we were going for the planning economy, so we had a planning commission Okay, we used to have this 5-year planning. Okay, so at that point of time we used to have a planning commission, but in 2014 the planning commission has been replaced with the NITI Aayog. Now NITI Aayog has been made through the executive order, so there is no statute which is backing the NITI Aayog, but now we have NITI Aayog in place of planning commission, though it is a think tank only. Okay, now let's talk about this. On 1st January 2025, NITI Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India, completed a decade since its establishment on 1st January 2015, replacing the Planning Commission to align with the requirements of the dynamic market-driven economy. So herein they will be going for the replacement of the Planning Commission, and then they will be aligning with the requirement of the dynamic market-driven economy. So we are moving away from the planning. Okay, so that is one thing. Other than that, also when we are talking about the various innovation, etc., NITI Aayog has a special contribution in that as well. Now NITI Aayog is an advisory body created through a resolution of the Union Cabinet. Okay, this is through the resolution of the Union Cabinet, and it is not a constitutional body because it is not mentioned in the constitution. Second, it is not a statutory body because there is no law which is backing the NITI Aayog. Okay, now let's talk about the history and the history when we are talking about the NITI Aayog coming into picture. So earlier there was this planning commission which was set up in 1950s to direct investment activities when we are talking about the 5-year plans. Okay, then it was replaced by NITI Aayog on January 1st 2015. Okay, so that is there. Now when we are talking about the objective, what is the objective? Objective is to foster cooperative federalism. Okay, now herein the membership will include the states representation as well, and that is why it is called as the cooperative federalism. Then develop mechanism to formulate credible plans, village level plans. Basically, so earlier it was a top down approach. Okay, now it will be bottom up approach. Okay, so that is there. Then interest of the national security in the economic strategy and the policy. Coming to the next one is special attention to the weaker sections. Provide advices and the encouragement to the partnership between the key stakeholders, national and international think tanks, research institutions, etc. As I told you, they will be talking about the innovation and all. Okay, so herein all the key stakeholders will be part of it. Okay, national, international think tank they will be considering as well. Then create knowledge, innovation, entrepreneurial support system. Okay, so that is what I was talking about, that they will be creating infrastructure. Okay, not in the term of investment and all, they will be creating a ecosystem for that. Okay, so that is create knowledge, innovation and the entrepreneurial support system. Then coming to the next one, platform for intersectoral and the interdepartmental issue resolution, because it is a think tank and all the stakeholders are coming together, so that is one of the platform which can serve as the dispute resolution. Okay, then maintain state of the art resource center. So this is about the objective of the planning commission. Now there are some of the major initiatives which is there, that is SDG India index. So that is the index which is been prepared by the NITI Aayog. Then Atal Innovation Mission, E-Amrit portal, that is related to the electrical vehicles. Then Good Governance Index, that is the India Innovation Index is there. Aspirational District Program is there, and then Methanol Economy Program is there. These are some of the initiatives which has been pioneered by the NITI Aayog. Now what is the difference between NITI Aayog and the planning commission? So it is an advisory think tank. When we talk about NITI Aayog, it is an advisory think tank. Then when we talk about the planning commission, it was a extra constitutional body. Okay, extra constitutional body means that it is not there in the constitution, but it has been made like a body which is going for the some of the executive works as well. Then coming to the next one, wider expertise, because there are various stakeholders which are being part of it. Here the expertise were limited. Secretariat, CEO appointed by the PM, and here secretaries appointed by the usual process. Okay, that is your when we are talking about the administrative authorities, etc. So through that particular process they used to go for the appointment. Here it will be appointed by the Prime Minister. Now here you can say bottom up approach. We are starting from the village level and then moving in the upper strata. Here it was a top down approach. Okay, the centralized authority was there. They used to make the plan and then it was implemented. Okay, coming to the next one, no mandate to impose policies. Here impose policies in the state. As I told you, they had this extra power and it is just a think tank. Then no power to allocate fund, and here allocated funds to the ministries and the state government under the planning when you are talking about the 5-year planning. Okay, so it does not have any such plan. So this is about NITI Aayog which we have discussed. Now coming to the next part, that is the composition of NITI Aayog, which is given over here. There will be a chairperson, that is Prime Minister. So you can say the chairperson of the NITI Aayog is basically Prime Minister. Then there is a governing council. When we are talking about the governing council, there will be the representation of the states as well. Okay, so all the CMs of the state and the lieutenant governors will be there from the union territories. Then regional councils will be there, so that are formed on the need basis. If there is a need, they will be forming the regional council comprising CMs of and the lieutenant governor of the concerned region. Okay, then members, there are full-time members, then there are part-time members, maximum 2 rotational basis will be there, and for relevant institutions. Okay, if there is something important which is going on, or some kind of specific issue is there, so there can be a part-time member and maximum of 2 can be there. Then coming to the next one, ex officio members. Okay, there will be 4 ex officio members from the Council of Ministers, which are nominated by the Prime Minister. Okay, then special invitees, if we are talking about, so there can be experts, specialists, practitioners with the domain knowledge, etc. They will be there. Okay, then Chief Executive Officer appointed by the Prime Minister for the fixed tenure will be there, and then Secretariat will be there if there is a necessity. Okay, so that is about the composition of NITI Aayog. If we talk about the issues, so here you can say no power in granting the discretionary fund. When we are talking about the Planning Commission, there was this power to grant the funds as well, but that was not there. Now it is only an advisory body, only a think tank. They will be doing the research, they will be giving ideas, but it is implementation is up to the government. Then coming to the next one, no role in the influencing private or the public investments, because they do not have anything to relate do with the funds, and then that is why we can say that influence will not be there on the investment activities. Then politicization of the organization. Here you will be seeing that most of the members will be nominated by, like when you are talking about the, you can say over here that Chief Executive Officer, that will be you can say appointed by Prime Minister. Okay, so all these powers are with the government over here. Okay, there are chances that there can be politicization of the organization. Okay, then lack of the requisite power to bring the positive change, because it is just a think tank, so it does not have any concrete power. Okay, so that is about NITI Aayog. Now let's come to the next topic, that is same-sex marriages in India. Now in 2023 there was this judgment which has said that the right to marry is not a fundamental right for all. Now that is why the same-sex marriages are not legal in India. Okay, and there is no concept of same-sex marriage under the Special Marriage Act as well. Other than that, also there was this minority judgment wherein they have discussed the civil unions, but that is also not available in India. Okay, so let's talk about the current situation. Recently there was this petition which has been filed in the Supreme Court saying that we can go for the review of the same-sex marriage related judgment which was given in 2023, and that petition has been rejected. Okay, so let's see what is the current status over here. What is same-sex marriage if we talk about? So obviously same-sex marriage refers to the marriages between the 2 individuals of the same gender. Okay, marriage between 2 men or between 2 women. Now legitimacy or the legality in India does not recognize marriages or the civil unions of the same-sex couple. That was the judgment which was given in 2023. Okay, the Special Marriage Act 1954 does not apply to same-sex couple, and it is for the Parliament and the state legislature to formulate laws on it. So here court has said that when we are talking about the same-sex marriage, this is not our prerogative to decide on that. It is on the Parliament. If they want to make a law, they can do it. Okay, there is no fundamental right to marry under the Indian Constitution. Then coming to the next one, however, it had upheld the right of same-sex couple to enjoy the equal benefits and the rights similar to those who are couple who are living going for the living in relations. Okay, so basically what they are saying is that you are allowed to have a partner, you are allowed to have a homosexual relationship, but there is no concept of same-sex marriages in India. So that is what is there. And right of same-sex couple, they will be enjoying the similar benefits which are there for the other couples. Okay, so that is there under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution, that is right to life. Now when we are talking about the recognition, there are various judgments which has been discussed by the, you can say, in the Supreme Court. There are various judgments which has been given with respect to the LGBTQIA plus communities, you can say demands, etc. So let's see. In 2014, National Legal Service Authority versus Union of India, that is also known as the NALSA case. Okay, Supreme Court has recognizes the transgender people as the third gender. Okay, so that is the first thing. And after that, in 2018, Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India, Supreme Court strike down the section 377, which used to you can say criminalize the same-sex relations. Now there is no such crime which is there in the, you can say, our statutes. Now coming to the next one, 2019, the Transgender Person Protection of Rights Act 2019 granted the legal recognition and the prohibition discrimination against the transgender individuals. So basically you cannot discriminate, okay, when it comes to the transgender people. So that is the law which has been, you know, implemented in 2000, or you can say enacted in 2019. Then 2022, Supreme Court expanded the definition of the family to include same-sex couple and the queer relationship. So if there is a person who is in a same-sex relationship or the queer relationship, in that case, that you can say those two people who are there in the relation, they can also be considered as a family. Okay, coming to the next one, 2023, Supreme Court rejected petitions to legalize the same-sex marriages in India, which we have already discussed. So basically we do not have a concept of same-sex marriage, or we do not have a concept which is related to the, you can say, civil unions, etc. Okay, now we will be having a small test for you. We will be giving you some questions, then you have to answer me in the comment box. Okay, when were the national anthem and the national song adopted by the Constituent Assembly? 15th of August 1947, 26th January 1950, 24th January 1950, 2nd October 1949. Okay, moving to the next one over here. In which landmark case did the Supreme Court of India decriminalize homosexuality by partially striking down the section 377 of the IPC? Navtej Singh Johar versus Union of India, Suresh Kumar Kaushal versus Nas Foundation, Vishakha versus State of Rajasthan, Menka Gandhi versus Union of India. Okay, so you can attempt these two questions and answer to me in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you, and please subscribe the channel.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.